I disguised myself as a man and went to school for my brother. However, I was framed by the school beauty for molestation and suffered cyber violence. When the police came to collect evidence, I innocently showed my ID card. The school beauty collapsed. How can you be a woman? The cyber bullies were all stunned. Molestation? She doesn't have that ability at all. On the 7th day of going to school disguised as a man for my brother, I was exposed on the internet. Someone posted a thread accusing me of forcibly kissing the school beauty and attached a secretly taken photo as evidence. In the photo, Violet, the school beauty, and I are kissing. As soon as the post was published, it instantly aroused the anger of all the otakus in the school. Damn it. This wretched man. How dare he forcibly kiss my Violet? Shameless. What a toad trying to eat a swan. Damn it. This must have left a huge psychological shadow on my goddess. I feel so sorry for her. This guy doesn't even seem to be 1.7 meters tall, looking like a potato and still daring to chase after my goddess. I'm so angry. I was speechless. It's okay to say I'm like a potato, but saying I chase after the school beauty is going too far. After all, we don't have that ability. We are girls. Genuine girls. The reason I disguised myself as a man is purely because my lustrous brother insisted on going to celebrate the birthday of his girlfriend studying abroad and asked me to go to school for him for a month first. I was originally against this behavior, but he immediately transferred 200 Zara yuan to me. And to facilitate my accommodation, he let me live in the large flat outside the school with his name on it and promised to transfer the house to me after the matter was done. Good sister. Just do it for me for a month. Just 1 month. My happiness is entirely in your hands. I immediately patted my chest to reassure him. My brother's happiness is my happiness. I guarantee the successful completion of the task. I cut my already short hair even shorter, changed my foundation to 2 shades darker, and drew thick eyebrows like my brother's. Finally, I put on my brother's clothes and stood in front of the mirror. It has to be said that being twins, we look exactly alike. Plus, it's just the beginning of school and no one knows each other yet. So I have been disguising myself quite smoothly. Just when victory was in sight, I didn't expect problems to arise in an unexpected direction. The poster claimed that they saw me forcibly hugging the school beauty and kissing her despite her struggle. I had an expression like an old man on the subway. In fact, Violet borrowed money from me on the pretext of raising money for her mother's surgery fee. Feeling sorry for her, I transferred 30 yuan to her. Then she hugged me and kissed me. I was stunned at that time. Violet looked shy and said that she was just grateful for a moment and kissed me subconsciously, and asked me not to mind being kissed by a beautiful young lady. Of course I don't mind. But now being slandered because of this incident and being called a wretched man, I still mind a little. I saw that the comments in the comment section became more and more indignant, all condemning me and vowing to seek justice for the goddess. Someone also dug out my class schedule. This bastard is taking Marxist philosophy now. Brothers, let's go and block him. Kill him. Seeing that this matter was getting a bit out of hand, for my personal safety, I hurriedly contacted Violet and asked her to help clarify the truth. Violet replied to me after a long time, "It's just rumors. Let others say what they want. A person with a clear conscience is not afraid of false accusations. One is innocent until proven guilty." I glanced at the several burly men standing at the door looking around with sticks in their hands, and continued to send messages to Violet in fear. "Miss, don't be like this at this time. I'm afraid of being beaten." Unexpectedly, Violet got angry after hearing this. "How can you be so timid? Can't you take a little beating for me? You have no sense of responsibility at all." I was stunned. "What's wrong with you? Sister? What's our relationship that you want me to be beaten for you?" Before I could say anything else, Violet sent another message. "Arya, you disappoint me so much." Then she immediately blocked me. "Me? Big sister. You haven't returned my money yet." The bell signaling the end of class rang like a death knell. I hunched my neck and planned to slip out following the teacher. However, just after taking a few steps, I was grabbed by the collar and lifted up. One person asked, "Are you the one who forcibly kissed Violet?" Another person replied to him, "Yes. It's this potato." Me. In the next second, a force suddenly threw me aside. My lower back slammed into the sharp corner of the table, and the pain made me gasp. The person who resorted to violence is quite famous at school. His name is Leo and he is the school bully. He glared at me angrily and pointed at my nose to warn, "Don't you dare harass Violet again. I'll kill you." I snarled back in pain, "Are you crazy?" Which I saw me harassing her. Leo retorted righteously, "Still denying it? The photo has been posted." Me. "She kissed me on her own initiative." Bullshit. All the people present were infuriated and jumped up and down, yelling, "Could Violet possibly take a fancy to a fool like you? You shameless person. How dare you say that? Believe it or not, I'll tear your mouth off." Seeing this, I couldn't care about keeping Violet secret and protecting her self-esteem anymore. I told them everything about her borrowing money from me. But they didn't believe me. "Look at your shabby appearance. Why would Violet borrow money from you? Don't think I don't know. The t-shirt you're wearing is from Pinduoduo. Buy 3 and get 1 free. I have one too. Violet's bag is worth more than you. If you spread rumors again, believe it or not, I'll make you get out of B University," while threatening me. Several people raised their hands and wanted to slap me. Fortunately, I reacted quickly. I bent down and slipped through under their armpits and ran away. After successfully escaping a beating, I immediately found Violet and questioned her face to face. "What do you mean?" Violet was frightened and took a few steps back by my fierce appearance. Her big eyes were filled with tears. "I'm sorry." She lowered her head and sobbed, "When you sent me a message, I had just received a call from the hospital saying that my mother's condition was very bad. I was in a bad mood for a while and said those outrageous words to you. I didn't mean it. Arya, please forgive me. Okay?" Looking at her small face with pear blossoms and rain, I was moved again and didn't want to care about anything anymore. I waved my hand. "Forget it. You can go." Violet stood still. I asked her, "Anything else?" Violet hesitated for a few seconds. "Can you lend me 50,000 more?" Her big eyes looked at me pitifully. "The doctor said my mother still needs to have another operation. Only you can help me. Please save my mother. Okay?" Her pitiful appearance made my heart soften immediately. Without saying a word, I transferred the money and offered to take her to the hospital. Violet refused me. "Don't trouble you. I'll just take the bus." After saying that, she hurriedly turned around and left. Looking at her flustered back figure, I somehow felt that something was wrong. But I thought she was in a hurry to go to the hospital to take care of her mother, and didn't think much about it. I turned around and went shopping, planning to spend the 200,000 I earned freely. I strolled into a Chanel store, and was waiting for the salesperson to bring me a bag. Suddenly, a familiar voice came from behind. "Bring over the bag I ordered." This person is actually Violet. I was stunned. Didn't she go to the hospital? For I saw Violet and her best friend chatting and laughing. There was no sign of the heartbroken, anxious and helpless look she had when borrowing money from me just now. Only heard her best friend laugh and say, "She transferred another 50,000 to you? That little potato is really stupid and rich." Hearing this, I frowned immediately. Little potato? Why does it sound so familiar? I immediately turned around and sat down with my back to them, wanting to hear what else they would say. Only heard Violet say angrily, "This guy actually wants me to clarify the kissing photo. He's really shameless. Others would be eager to be kissed by me. He so unappreciates after getting a little favor." But fortunately, I just showed a little pity, and he obediently listened to me again. Her best friend complimented, "Violet, you're really capable. You can make men pay for you with just a few words. You deserve to be the school beauty. You're so charming." Violet said proudly, This is nothing. Arya. This fool. I can win him over without much effort. Her best friend echoed, that's right. I guess just a word from you can make him go crazy. But then again, what are you going to do if he really confesses his love to you? Of course I'll refuse. He's not even 1.7 meters tall. How could I possibly like him? If I didn't use him as an ATM, I wouldn't even look at him. But if that potato asks you to return the money after being rejected in love, it'll be troublesome. Don't be afraid. If he dares to do that, I'll let Leo beat him up. After a while, the salesperson packed Violet's bag. 50,000. It was exactly the amount I had just transferred to her. I saw her pay without blinking and leave satisfied. I was dumbfounded. I was fucking cheated. She cheated me of my money and made fun of me. Even if I have a good temper, I can't tolerate this at all. I have to get the money back. Get the money back and send red envelopes to readers. Before I could take action, Violet came to me again. I saw her looking haggard and weak. She hooked my sleeve with one finger and her voice was gentle. Brother Arya. You. I couldn't help but retch. Violet's face stiffened. What's wrong? Nothing. Continue. She let out a long sigh. I'm so tired. The doctor said my mom still needs to have 2 more surgeries, and the hospitalization fee needs to be renewed. After saying this, Violet looked at me eagerly, waiting for me to respond. If it were before, I would have taken the initiative to care about her and ask how much money she needed. But this time, I said nothing. Seeing that I didn't react, Violet had to continue speaking. Brother Arya, can you transfer 200 yuan to me? 200 yuan? She really dares to ask. I know this is not a small amount, but since Brother Arya is so capable, it should be easy for you to take out 200 yuan, right? I sneered. You really think highly of me. Of course, Violet said shyly. In Violet's heart, Brother Arya is the most powerful person. So, you can definitely give me 200 yuan, right? I didn't answer. I just stared at the Chanel bag she was holding in her right hand with a half smile. Nice bag. Violet quickly hid the bag behind her and laughed awkwardly. It was given by my best friend. It probably isn't worth much. I said oh, and slowly clicked on hers. Violet thought I was going to transfer money to her and giggled cocifiously. I knew you were the best to me. As she said this, she couldn't wait to unlock her phone to receive the payment. But in the next second, her smile instantly froze on her face, and she let out a shrill scream. Arya. What do you mean? What I sent to her was not a transfer but the records of her borrowing money from me several times. It added up to exactly 100 yuan. I spoke directly. Pay back the money. What? Violet stared at me in disbelief. You actually asked me to pay back the money? I also looked at her in disbelief. Returning debts, is there any problem? Violet's face turned red with anger, and she pointed at me and shouted. You are shameless. Me? Before I could react, her best friend suddenly appeared from nowhere and immediately started yelling at me at the top of her lungs. You, a big man, actually ask a little girl to pay back the money? How can you be so shameless? Her voice was very loud and instantly attracted the attention of the people around. People all gathered around to watch the excitement, and some people were even holding up their phones to take videos. Seeing this, Violet's best friend became even more energetic. She actually turned black into white without stammering at all, saying that I had the nerve to pursue Violet. Now that my pursuit failed, I was desperate. Violet was crying like a rain of pear blossoms, looking as if she had been greatly humiliated, which made the onlookers feel very sorry for her. Countless angry gazes fell on me, as if they wanted to execute me by dismemberment. It's so disgusting. How could he be like this? This is too excessive. Violet was extremely shocked and hurriedly refuted me. It's not like this. I didn't borrow my money. I interrupted her and shook my phone. The transfer records on it were clearly visible. Violet's words were suddenly stuck in her throat, and her face looked as ugly as if she had eaten a fly. But her best friend reacted quickly and immediately put the blame back on me. Arya, is it necessary? Violet's mother is sick and urgently needs life-saving money. So she borrowed some from you. She said she would pay you back as soon as possible. And you agreed. Why do you insist on asking her to pay back the money now, just because Violet rejected your confession? Violet lowered her head and shed tears. Classmate Nathan, you clearly know that I can't even afford to eat because of treating my mother's illness. Why are you doing this to me? Do I have to agree to be your girlfriend? I pointed at the bag they had just bought. Can't even afford to eat? Selling this bag can get tens of thousands of yuan. Violet and her best friend were instantly petrified. There was a murmur all around. This bag is Chanel, right? It must be worth tens of thousands of yuan. It seems to be just bought. How can you afford a luxury bag if you can't even afford food? It must be a lie. Everyone looked at Violet with meaningful expressions. Violet's face flushed red. She seemed unable to think of a rebuttal for a moment. She could only glare at me angrily, then dragged her best friend and hurried away. 6. I sent Violet my final notice. Return my money, or see you in court. As a result, the message couldn't be sent. She had blocked me again. Damn it. This is not the most frustrating thing. The most infuriating thing is that I was posted on the forum again. Someone posted the video of my confrontation with Violet. The video was cut at both ends, leaving only the fragment where everyone denounced me as shameless. In the short 20-second video, Violet was in tears, while I had a sullen face and a sneer. No matter how you look at it, it seemed that I was bullying others. The poster vowed that I forced the school beauty to be my girlfriend. After being rejected, I became angry and humiliated the school beauty in public. He also told girls to be vigilant and never associate with someone like me. This piece of trash. A comment section was full of extreme derogation and ridicule of me. Damn. How can there be such a shameless person in school? What kind of ability is it to bully girls? It's really a disgrace to men. Look at yourself in the mirror and see what kind of person you are. How dare you chase the school beauty when you are so short? This is sexual harassment. Right? Call the police. I sneered and directly pasted the transfer records to Violet. The fact is that she owes money and doesn't repay it. She also spreads rumors and smears me. I also the poster. I have recorded and saved the content of the rumor. See you in court. The abuse in the comments section finally stopped. Although some people questioned the authenticity of what I said, many people began to speak up for me. What a wronged person. Being cheated of money and being slandered. This guy is so miserable. Sure enough, beautiful women are best at deceiving people. Seeing that public opinion was starting to favor me, Violet finally spoke up on her own initiative. She posted a long article vowing that she had never borrowed money from me. It was I who voluntarily gave her money to help her. Through the text, one can feel Violet's deep distress. In the darkest moment of my life, when he extended a helping hand to me, I thought that my kindness had finally been rewarded. So God sent a good person to help me through the difficult time. I really didn't expect. The good person I thought of deeply hurt me. Classmate Nathan, I am very grateful for your help to me. Although you helped me for other motives, I still want to say thank you and sorry to you. In any case, I cannot agree to be your girlfriend. No matter how much you smear and humiliate me, I will stick to my principles. Just consider that I misjudged people. I will learn a lesson. But still be kind. The small composition that reverses black and white seems sincere and instantly arouses the sympathy and trust of onlookers. What a simple and kind girl. So pitiful. I knew it. A girl as beautiful as this can't possibly be a liar no matter how you look at it. It turns out that it wasn't the goddess who actively borrowed money. It was the dog, who voluntarily transferred it. Alas. Silly girl. You were deceived. The voices supporting me also mostly disappeared. Everyone stood on Violet's side and denounced me. Damn black potato. How dare you bully my goddess like this? Despicable man with dirty tricks. Keeping the transfer record is just to make the goddess be his girlfriend. Right? So disgusting. Taking advantage of others' difficulties. Shameless to the extreme. 7. I wasn't annoyed either. While drinking milk tea, I took screenshots and recorded all these contents. Then I released the video of Violet in the Chanel store. Another 50,000 transferred? That little potato is really stupid and has too much money. This is nothing. With a fool like Arya, I can win him over without much effort. He's not even 1.7 meters tall. How could I possibly like him? If it weren't for treating him as an ATM, I wouldn't even look at him. Violet's mean and hypocritical face is fully exposed in this video. And the truth of her cheating money is also exposed by her own words. The next second after the video was made public, my phone rang. Violet's angry questioning came from the receiver. Arya, where did you get this thing? How dare you post it online? Do you know how bad an impact this will have on me? I was shocked by her shamelessness again. No. Aren't you have a guilty conscience? And when you slandered me, why didn't you consider what bad impact it would have on me? Violet, are you a big man so petty? Arya, I really didn't expect you to be so heartless. I've seen people being unreasonable, but I've never seen someone so unreasonable. I was too lazy to talk nonsense with her. I directly asked her to publicly apologize and return the money. When Violet saw that I was serious, she panicked a little and quickly softened her voice. Arya, calm down. Okay. I was wrong. Okay? I did this only because you were indifferent to me and I felt bad. That's why I did something stupid on impulse. Violet's coconchos voice was sickeningly sweet. I know I was wrong. Please forgive me. Okay? After coquettously apologizing, she resorted to the same trick again and started crying intermittently. In fact, I've long regarded you as my boyfriend in my heart. That's why I lost my temper with you. I know you have me in your heart too. I interrupted her. Bullshit. How disgusting. There was a pause at the other end of the phone, and then she became angry and furious. You bastard. Arya, listen up. You'll never get me in your entire life. For a moment, I didn't know what to reply. Seeing that I didn't respond, Violet thought her threat had worked and instantly became smug. Sure enough. You just like me. She condescendingly ordered me to transfer 500,000 yuan to apologize to her before she would forgive me. Once again, I was shocked by her shamelessness. But she was completely unaware and still looked triumphant. Don't ask me why I ask for 300,000 more from you. Who made you make me suffer so much? This is just a little punishment for you. Don't do this again in the future. I laughed speechless lie. Who gave you the nerve? I would rather like feces than like you. Idiot. Violet screamed like a hen. Once again, I sent the transfer screenshot. Immediately. Right now. Return the money. Violet continued to scream. Do you know how many men are begging to spend money on me? It's your blessing that I can spend your money. And you actually asked me to return it. Are you still a man? I said in a bland tone. I'm not. Return the money. Violet collapsed and hung up the phone with a scream. I dug my ear and continued to watch the reactions of netizens. As expected. After watching the video, everyone was shocked collectively. Damn. Damn. What did I see? Is this video real? Violet is actually this kind of person? Is she really a liar? She's not only a liar but also a green tea bitch and a gold digger. No. I don't believe it. How could my goddess be such a person? I don't believe it. I don't want to believe it either. But can the video be fake? Violet herself said that she regarded Arya as an ATM and also called him a fool. The voices that supported her and backed her up just now instantly subsided. Public opinion once again ushered in a reversal. I was wrong. It turns out that Arya is the victim. My mom is right. Beautiful women really can deceive people. So beautiful but so black-hearted. The villain in novels has come to reality. Everyone sympathize with Arya. Borrowing money has brought a lot of trouble. So unlucky. Violet. Return the money. Don't pretend to be dead and keep silent. Violet didn't say a word. After a long time, she posted a selfie. A carefully chosen angle of a beautiful crying photo. And also added a caption. The pure will prove themselves pure. The old trick won the sympathy of a small number of people with missing brain stems. School bully Leo took the lead and left a message for Violet to show his stance. Believe in the goddess and wait for the truth. I replied to him. Wait and eat shit. The retribution for being quick-tempered came soon. Leo stopped me at the school gate, pushed and shoved me and dragged me into a dark alley. There was no one around and no surveillance cameras. Leo gave a sinister smile and lifted me up by the collar. Want to eat shit? Come on. I'll shit for you right now. I smiled at him. Idiot. Anger. How dare you scold me? I have to teach you a lesson today. The moment he raised his fist high at me, I curved the corner of my mouth, bent my knee, and hit his crotch hard. In the next second, a heart-nicking scream rang out in the alley. Bah! Leo was kicked into the hospital by me and was almost disabled. He asked me to compensate him 1 million yuan. I was so angry that I laughed. Are these people one by one thinking that I look so much like a sucker? Leo shamelessly shouted at me. I limit you to transfer 1 million yuan to my card within 1 day. I replied to him. Do you want me to slap you 1 million times? Leo was so angry that he wanted to hit me again. Unfortunately, he was so painful that he couldn't even get out of the hospital bed. He could only shout at me helplessly. You almost made me unable to have children. 1 million yuan is already cheap for you. I looked at him sideways. You started it first. I was acting in self-defense. Leo suddenly laughed and had a look of a petty person getting what he wants. I started it first? Is there any evidence? Let me tell you, there is not a single surveillance camera in that alley. What I say goes. Now I am seriously injured by you. You have to pay me money. I raised my beautiful middle finger. Pay your ass. Leo was so angry that his face turned red, like a successfully colored braised pig's trotter. At this moment, Violet suddenly appeared. Leo was so excited that he stuttered. Violet. Why are you here? Violet handed him an apple and said gently. Brother Leo. I come to see you. Leo was extremely flattered. Holding the apple was like holding a luminous pearl. Violet. You come as you come. Why bring me anything? What a waste. I really couldn't help but laugh. In an instant, Leo and Violet glared at me simultaneously. What are you laughing at? Leo gritted his teeth. Shameless dog. I nodded. You're not good at anything else. But your self-awareness is quite clear. Leo, you son of a bitch. Violet held him down. Brother Leo. Don't be impulsive. Let me talk to him for a few words. Leo immediately became obedient. He gave a fierce roll one's eyes and shut up. Violet walked up to me. Let's go out and talk. I deliberately stood under the surveillance camera. Spit it out if you have something to say. Violet bit her lip. Tears about to fall. Her voice hesitant. Can't you be gentle to girls? I interrupted her. Are you a girl? You are a venomous woman. Violet was choked for a moment. The fierce look in her eyes that wanted to kill couldn't be hidden after all. But in the next second, she suddenly messed up her hair and clothes like a madman, and then covered her chest and exclaimed, Hooligan. Me. Dramatic. I made a pause gesture, and then pointed upward. Look up. Violet looked in the direction I pointed. The moment she saw the camera, her face immediately froze. She silently fixed her clothes and threatened me through gritted teeth. I will definitely make you regret it. After saying that, she turned and left. The resolute back seemed to be about to do something big. Seeing this, I suddenly didn't want to chase her to pay me back for the time being. I planned to let these two make a big fuss. After all, these bad guys are so despicable. They have to completely court disaster, and then be severely punished. 10 Sure enough, Violet and Leo joined forces to make a big deal. They actually started a live broadcast in the ward, and jointly accused me of indecency. Leo claimed that he was injured because he witnessed me having evil intentions towards Violet. He was brave and righteous but was seriously injured by me instead. Violet was crying with red eyes by the side. She looked like an innocent and wronged little white rabbit. Don't mention how endearing she is. While crying, she spoke in a sobbing voice. Arya said that if he can't get me, he will destroy me. I didn't expect him to really do this. Woo woo. Leo, fortunately, I happened to pass by. Otherwise, the consequences would be unimaginable. This live broadcast instantly aroused public anger and I was crazily cyberbullied. Trash. Social cancer. Unworthy of being human. This kind of beast should be castrated and locked up for life. Agree with the above. This is blatant sexual crime. Strongly demand severe punishment without mercy. Cut it off forever and cure it. The university's admission of such students is a sorrow for the whole society. Must be expelled. No excuses can be made to excuse criminals. When Violet called, I was washing off the black powder on my face. The tone coming from the phone was unconcealable pride. Now you know you're afraid, right? Don't worry. I will give you one last chance. She gave me a time limit of 10 minutes to rush to the hospital, kneel down and apologize to her, and then give her and Leo 1 million each. I was amused by what I heard. With such wild imagination, why doesn't she go write novels on ZHI Who? Violet was still talking to herself. As long as you meet these requirements and apologize and pay compensation honestly, this matter will be over. I won't hold it against you. Otherwise, you know the consequences. I asked her while suppressing a smile. What consequences? Violet, of course it's being expelled from school and ruined reputation. Leo's annoying voice chimed in. I've checked. You are just from an ordinary family. You can't beat us. Be sensible and don't struggle in vain. I hung up the phone with a smear and directly called the police. Uncle Policeman. I've been blackmailed and extorted. 11 I washed off the black powder and thick eyebrows, and revealed my original delicate appearance. Then I put on a hat and a mask, and covered myself tightly before heading to the destination. Violet and Leo were looking at the police with confusion. After hearing that someone had reported them for blackmail and extortion, they were all panicked. They denied vehemently. We didn't. We are the victims. They repeated the fabricated story from the live broadcast to the police and pulled on the onlookers to testify. Everyone can testify for us. Everyone was instantly filled with a sense of justice. That's right. We can all testify. It's clearly Arya who molested others. He is the criminal. How dare he file a false complaint first? Uncle Policeman. He is making a false police report. You must arrest him. They were full of confidence and unanimously identified me as the criminal. As the policeman was taking notes, he asked, "Is there any evidence?" Suddenly, the scene fell silent. The indignant accusations stopped instantly. Everyone looked at each other, wearing a blank expression. The policeman was a little surprised. No evidence? At this moment, I came out and said loudly, "I have evidence." All eyes in the venue fell on me. The policeman frowned. "Who are you?" I replied, "Arya." As soon as my words fell, the scene instantly became noisy and clamorous. Damn. He really dares to come. Look at how tightly he is wrapped up. He also knows that he is ashamed to show his face. He still knows shame. Bah! Trash. Obscene man. I was condemned by thousands and cursed by tens of thousands. Violet and Leo showed resentful expressions towards me, seemingly extremely angry about my calling the police. The policeman asked everyone to be quiet and confirmed with me. "Did you call the police?" "Yes." I said word by word. I report that Violet and Leo jointly slandered and blackmailed me first, resulting in serious damage to my reputation and extremely adverse effects on my spirit. Violet and Leo almost jumped up at the same time. You're lying. You're talking nonsense. Violet burst into tears and her tone was extremely aggrieved. Uncle Policeman, don't listen to him. Clearly he molested me, but now he's making false accusations. Woo woo woo. I'm really driven crazy by him. Leo said. I can testify. When Arya was molesting, I happened to pass by. I saw it. The policeman said. Why didn't you call the police at that time? Violet cried even more pitifully. I didn't dare. I felt very ashamed and was afraid of his revenge. The people around her cast sympathetic and distressed glances at her. By the way, they also shot angry glares at me. The policeman looked at me. What do you have to confess? I slowly took off my hat and mask, revealing a delicate and fair face. The whole place was silent, and everyone was stunned. Who is this? I showed the most well-behaved smile in my life. I am Maria. The policeman looked at me for a while and hesitated to ask. Are you male or female? I blinked my big eyes. Of course I am female. The whole place was in an uproar. Violet finally reacted and pointed at me and shouted. No. She is not Arya. Arya doesn't look like this. I innocently took out my ID card and showed it to everyone. I am really called Daria. Violet widened her eyes and was completely confused. This is impossible? 12 in fact. I used to be called Daria you. And my brother is called Nathan. Later. Because I like to character names. I begged my parents to take me to change my name and remove the character you. During this period when I took my brother's place to go to school. Except for occasionally using the name Nathan when filling in formal materials. I used my own real name at other times. When someone asked, I would say it was for convenience. Which sounded quite reasonable. Violet insisted that I was lying. As a result, after verification from various parties, it was proved that I was indeed Arya and an authentic girl. But Arya doesn't look like this. Violet was on the verge of collapse. Others also testified that the previous Arya did look different from me. Darker than her and not as good-looking as her. I took out the dark powder and eyebrow pencil I usually use for disguise. This is because I have been dressing up as a man. This is a small experiment of mine. To experience the differences between boys and girls firsthand and then write a related report. You're lying. Violet pointed at me and shouted. You can never be Arya. I immediately did a live transformation. And soon a familiar Arya to them appeared. The whole place was stunned. A baby-faced policeman stuffed his business card into my hand. Are you interested in joining our profession? Learn about undercover investigators. But then he was poked by a colleague and put on a stern face again. Nonsense. Pure nonsense. At this time, Violet had completely petrified. Leo also didn't say a word for a long time. The others were even more stunned. As if they didn't know how to digest this information for a while. I smiled. Uncle Policeman. Regarding my being reported for indecent assault. Do I need to provide any other proof? The policeman waved his hand. No way. Do you have that function? There was a snort from the crowd. And then a louder burst of laughter rang out. Leo's face flushed red. Staring at me with a complicated expression. But Violet was unexpectedly calm. She lowered her head and didn't know what she was looking at on her phone. Suddenly, she spoke up loudly. Wait a minute. Uncle Policeman. I have new information to explain. She raised her phone, and a proud expression reappeared on her face. The admission materials show that the gender of the new student Nathan is male. Arya is his sister. As soon as these words were spoken, I was so scared that my legs went weak. Damn it. She finally found out. My house is not guaranteed. Woo woo woo. Really having no choice. I had to honestly confess that I disguised myself as a man to go to school for my brother. Violet showed a triumphant smile. So the person who molested me is not her. It's her brother Nathan. Arya pretended to be a boy today, to help her brother get off the hook. As soon as these words were said, Leo also came alive instantly. That's right. It was Nathan who molested Violet before. I was just saying that a girl couldn't have such a heavy kick. I gave him a look that was hard to describe in words. And then listed the evidence. It was very easy to prove that my brother had been abroad during the incident. Violet was relentless and brought up the matter of our brother and sister violating school rules and disciplines again, insisting that the police arrest me. The policeman was helpless and said that this matter belonged to the school to handle and they couldn't care about it. Violet's eyes lit up and said to me, "Lie. The school won't let you off. You're finished." I told her that the school principal is my dad. The last bit of light in Violet's eyes disappeared. 13. It's time to close the net. I quickly submitted a series of evidence and officially filed a lawsuit against Violet and Leo. After trial, the court confirmed that the actions of Violet and Leo constituted the crimes of defamation and extortion, and sentenced them to 3 years in prison. At the same time, Violet was ordered to pay off all the loans. The farce is over. My brother and his girlfriend also came back. Although I didn't complete the task smoothly, I still got the house in the end. After my parents learned about this, in order to punish my brother, they took the initiative to change the house given to him to my name, together with the one I originally had. There are a total of 3 houses now. My brother doesn't have a single one, but he doesn't mind at all. Because he feels sorry for me for being wronged and helping him, he bought me tension L bags. Everyone is happy. The end. The end. The end. The end. The end.